Thanks for tuning in to tonight's edition of the Renshaw Report. Murray reporting from the city, too tough to die, New London. As you all know, New London is 11 months away from electing its first full-time strong mayor. And my guest tonight, Daryl Finizio, the only candidate so far to officially announce that he is running for mayor, is here, and I'm honored to have him here, and I think you're going to be very impressed with some of the things that he says. Before we get to Daryl, just a couple announcements. First of all, you've read in the paper that the council in the city of New London is almost ready to announce the temporary city manager. Now, my inside sources tell me that the selection has in fact been made, and my sources sometimes are not that reliable. We're going to find out, but I'm told that the interim city manager is going to be a female, and if you put two and two together, last night in downtown, Barbara Neff, who I did not know was a candidate for city manager, had a top-secret meeting in a quiet restaurant with 3 or 4 other powerful people. And if she is the interim manager, I'm sure she's going to do a good job. Only time will tell with that, and we'll keep our eye on that. Happy birthday, in order. Skeetsy's wife, Kathy Frankopoulos, 49 years old. Happy birthday, Kathy, and many more to come. And they got 2 wonderful boys, by the way, and wonderful parents, very nice people. Now, you all remember Mickey Farrell. I don't know if you know Mickey, Daryl, but he's a big shot up at the Foxwoods and was in tight when the map was missing. It was rumored that the map was buried in his backyard. Come to find out, and Mickey has had problems at Henny Penny's in Waterford. He gasses up and he drives off with a gas filler in his car. It's happened 6 or 8 times. We found out why he's so absent-minded, because he found a new box that is an invention that is going to make him a very wealthy man, and we'll have that story for you up close and personal in the near future. Brad Etzen, isn't it Etzen, coach of UConn? You followed that. Local coach Bob Weiss, who was had an accounting job with the Hartford Colonels, has been approached to be part of the new coaching staff as the offensive coordinator. He's hesitant to take the job because the Colonels' feeling is that NFL is going to be on strike next year, and everybody's going to be up in Hartford watching the Colonels play a season. So he's got a big decision to make. We'll keep you abreast of that as well. Special hello to John Apes, by the way, who I understand watches the show all the time. And John, thanks for watching the show. I hope I don't put you to sleep, and I'll try not to do that tonight. Daryl Finizio, you're the talk of the town. You've shaken this election up already, and it hasn't even started. You're the only announced candidate. Are you putting the cart before the horse because you're a Democrat, you're running as a Democrat, but you haven't been endorsed by the Democratic Party, and the process hasn't weighed out? How do you respond to that, and what is your campaign strategy?
Well, I believe that the Democratic Party will have a role in the election, the Central Committee, and I have talked to them, and certainly I look forward to continuing that conversation and going through whatever process they lay out. I don't think they've decided on that process as of yet, and I know that there are numerous candidates who are considering running. But the town committee has 70 members. There are 70 Democrats on that committee, and there are thousands of Democrats in the city of New London.
Mary Jane, we got to get Daryl on the picture here. See what's going on out there, will you, Billy?
I got it.
I mean, we got to get this guy on camera here. You don't want to look at me. I'll scare you for crying out loud.
But Murray, you're so pretty. Why are you worried?
No.
Come on, that's why everyone's tuning in.
I want people to know what you're talking about. Okay.
Well, I am running because there are thousands of not only Democrats, but there are thousands of people in the city of New London. This mayor is the people's mayor. The people of New London created this office by a vote of 3-1, and I believe they did that because New London is ready for change. I think that New London is looking for new leadership. They're looking for a new way forward. This whole office is new. It's unprecedented. and I think everyone needs to be part of that process. So with all respect to the party leadership, who I have already spoken with and who I will continue to speak with, it is my intention to run for this office, with or without party endorsement. And if it comes to a primary, then it'll be a primary. I'm not trying to force that issue, but I know that there are many people who are interested. I know I was, and I decided to run. So hopefully I will have support from some of the party leadership or all the party leadership, and perhaps I will be the endorsed candidate. But as I say, this office is too important. This election is too important to leave it to a party inside decision. I think all the people of New London need to be part of this process.
So do you feel you have the support, if you're not the selected Democratic candidate, you would primary and run as
a Democrat in the Democratic primary.
All right. Now, Daryl, you're not one of these kind of guys that only wants me to ask you certain questions, will you? Because there's a couple of people, by the way, who are on the city council right now who got very offended when I asked them questions that they didn't want me to ask them. And I don't mean to offend you, but I think it's fair game, and any question is in order.
I absolutely agree with you, Murray.
And I'm not talking about Rob Pirro either, by the way, because he comes on all the time.
Yeah, no, I have absolutely no restrictions with any media, with any press, with any person in the City of New London to ask me any question on any issue at any time. This mayor, this new strong mayor, a lot of people in the city are not quite aware of the extent of some of the powers that this new office will have. The ability to appoint heads of departments without council approval, the ability to not only prepare the budget, but have a veto over that budget and a line item veto over that budget that can only be overridden by a 6 out of 7 council vote. Then the list goes on, and we can talk about it if you'd like. But if you're going to elect one person to a position of that significance, then that person should be completely open, honest, and transparent, be willing to answer any question at any time, and I will do that, not only in this campaign, but if I'm elected mayor. I have outlined in my initial platform some guidelines for how I believe I would run a transparent, open, and honest government, and that is my commitment. And to lead by example, I will run a transparent, open, and honest campaign.
Caller, if you could call back at 8:30, because I want to let Daryl get some of his points of views out. I don't mean to be rude, but it is important that we figure out what's going on here. Those of you who have not read his synopsis or vision of New London, it's very well written. Obviously, I'm not going to out-talk Daryl, because he certainly is one notch, or many notches above me.
Murray, you have got to watch out for those lawyers. They will get you every time.
But this 40 pages is available at the Day paper.
It is available both at the New London Day on theday.com, and it is also available on our campaign website, which is www.finizioformayor.com.
Right. Now, one thing that I didn't see mentioned in here, Daryl, is a problem that New London is confronting with, and that's the homeless situation. What's your philosophy on that? How do you think the problems that have arisen can be solved, and do you consider it a problem in New London?
Well, I believe it is a situation in New London. I wouldn't want to use the word problem because I think that connotates a negative meaning for the people who are homeless. I think the first thing that we as a community need to recognize, Murray, is that homeless people are people. They're human beings. And some of us, like myself, who came from good families, who had good educations, you know, if we screwed up at 22 years old, if I ran up a credit card, if I did something, if I was in a bad relationship, you know, I had family and friends that were there with the economic means to help me out. But for people that are born into poverty, for people that don't have large families, you know, one little mistake in life can lead to another, or lead to another, and then all of a sudden a bad economy hits and you find yourself homeless. It is not their fault. There are some people who have mental illness, there are some people who have addiction, who find themselves homeless, but they too can